What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, Diamond is Unbreakable. This episode was once again fucking phenomenal, like always, guys. But this little two-parter, that the episode is like shit called a date. It's like March 16th or March 12th, or maybe it was sometime in June. I don't know. I'll have to relook at the date. March 16th, I think it was. And we constantly are shifting perspectives between different characters and what they're going on. I think by this two-part, judging from the mysterious, mysterious nature of this episode that I got, I have a feeling that by the end of this, that right here is when shit is going to hit the fan. I think this is when we are going to, but either A, the kid is going to die, or Hayato is going to die. Maybe not that to that extent, but at least where maybe he might get discovered by Kira. Or B, by the end of this little arc here, Kira's identity is going to be exposed, and we'll go from there. I don't know. I think something crazy is gonna happen. Either Hayato's gonna die, or he's gonna get found that he knows about Kira, or that maybe Hayato tells Josuke and the others that tells him that who Kira is, where he is, or maybe Rohan finds out. Maybe and then they have a meeting with Hayato. I don't know. I just think overall some crazy shit is going to happen by the end of this arc, just judging from where it was. Also, guys, if you hear any wind or anything, that's because I got the windows open right now, because it's hot as balls up in here right now, guys. So I had to open up the windows, so if you guys hear any like wind or anything, that's why. So anyway, let's get started to this week's episode. So when you start this episode off, it is July 12th, 5:05 p.m. Why am I bringing up times? Because the anime doesn't. It looks like the different times and dates is very important. So I will bring them up. Anyway, so we got a bunch of guys going through. We can see Kira's dad. He's like looking around for. He's like, "Oh, Yoshikage, where are you?" As he's flying through the air, trying to figure out where Kira is. We head over to our Koichi, Okuyasu, and Josuke. They're like, I wonder if we should just sit here as the best course of action. We also see Jotaro Kujo saying that we should pay attention to every single missing person, notice, even if they're runaways, everything, because, Kira might strike again. Joseph was like, you really think he could strike again, even though he's in hiding? Serial killers cannot hide their murderous impulses. That's just how they are. So he will kill again. Anyway. After that, we see more kids there before we head over to Rohan, and he's like looking through his little photo album he's got, looking through all the faces, and he knows which one. Speaking of Rohan, Vic actually came out on Twitter and he said that this was like I think on Thursday, might have been Wednesday this week, might have been Wednesday, I don't know, might be a little bit sooner, but sometime this week, around the week, he came out and said on Twitter that he just finished up recording the final episode, or his final lines for Rohan in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. Which means, just like as I said in my review last week at the end of it, that means that when all that Vic Mignogna shit was going on a couple months ago, they still kept him on there as Rohan, and he was still voicing the guy even with all this shit going on. Which I gotta give props to my man Vic, because you could tell this man that this had definitely had some toll on his emotional state. So for him still coming to work every time, he probably may have took a day off or two just so he remained sane, but came out of work, still did his job, still did that. That's admirable. Now, like I said in my review last week, you gotta give props to Viz for not bending the knee to these SJW parasites for all these baseless accusations with no evidence. So yeah, I had to bring that was actually something real cool, which was also just like, thank you, Viz, thank you for not bending the knee. Granted, Viz wasn't in the line of fire; it was literally just Funimation. But Vic Mignogna has had some tie-ins with Viz, so gotta give Viz their due props for that. Anyway. So, he's looking through, and then you got Kira's dad, like smushed up against the window. He's like, his face is like right on the window. He's taking photos of other people at their stage. I can't let him find my Yoshikage, And so then he keeps flying, and then he finds Kira. He finds him. He's on his way back from work, and when you see Kira, you can see his nails. The dude pretty much has claws now. Like, legit, his nails are fucking long. These are hella long nails. They're like They might as well be close. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't clipped them. I don't know why he hasn't clipped them yet. Whatever, I forget. Whatever. There's probably a reason behind that. I mean, I know that they did this whole stuff with like his toenails and his clippings about how much is he desire to kill and whatever. You know, like a while ago, but yeah. So his nails are hella long. They're pretty much like claws at this point. He's like, "Oh, Yoshikage, I finally found you. The bond between a father and a son can never be broken. I'm so happy, you know." And then, after when he saw him gushing about Kira, he notices like behind him, like hiding out, is Hayato with a video camera. Okay, I have to call bullshit now. Like, I mentioned this in my review last week about the security system. I still question how the hell the kid got a security system installed without nobody knowing. Now, granted, this video camera stuff is a little bit more believable. It could have been a family camera. Maybe his mom bought it. Or maybe it was something like, you know, maybe once somebody gave it to them and he's just using it. The video camera is a little bit easier to explain because they were common. They were a little bit more common in the 90s. Like, people would have video cameras for events, you know, like kids' birthdays and other stuff. You know, they would have those around. The security system, I still do have no idea why the hell this kid has a security system installed. The camera's a little bit more believable, but you know, and he's like, "I will find out who you are, imposter." So after that, it is now July 15th, Thursday, 7:50 a.m. We see Koichi. He's like, "Oh crap, I'm about to be late, and I'm class monitor today." And as he's running out there again to school to make sure he's not late, we then head over to 8:05 a.m. We got Josuke and Okuyasu. Josuke's complaining about how he didn't get enough sleep last night, staying up too late. Not Rohan. Okuyasu's like, "Oh man, I slept like a rock, so I'm as fit as a fiddle." And he's like, "Hey, Josuke, look over there! It's a pair of binoculars." Wow, nothing really seems, it doesn't take much to pique your interest, does it? He's like, "Don't touch them there, that's gross." He's like, "You think so? I most certainly am not gross." The binoculars talk, and it's revealed to be the alien. I know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We've had some bizarre stuff happen in the series here and there, but never to this extreme, like aliens and talking plants. Like, no, that crazy part 4 that makes you curious, like, is there any crazier shit happening in part 5, 6, 7, or 8? Like, I'm legit curious about that. Are there any other weird, bizarre shit where we have fucking aliens or plants cats that were turned into plants? Like, what's next? We're gonna have talking plants or we're gonna have rocks that can talk. Like, what's next? I don't know. Anyway. So, oh man, that was some crazy stuff. Whatever. that plant shit from last week was fucking crazy, man. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So he says, you know, I'm here to show you guys attention, and we see like this little this tower, this electrical tower that was meant for you know, transport electricity or get signals or whatever back in the day. But since, you know, it's 90s, all this stuff is underground, they've dismantled most of these, but this is just a relic from the past. He tells him to use the binoculars, and he sees that there's a kettle on, you know, smoking a little bit, on the tower. He's like, "What the hell? What the hell's going on?" They go up and they find this dude fishing, grabs out fish, puts it in a pan, puts it in a cucumber in there as well, cuts up the fish, and, you know, is cooking some grub. Cooking some grub. Throughout this whole time, Josuke and Okuyasu are constantly fighting. Well, not fighting, but they're always kind of like getting the fouls. When Josuke says, like, "Let me see him," Okuyasu grabs him, then Josuke grabs him back. You know, they try to do that for a bit. And so then they're like, "Should we get a little bit closer to see what the hell's going on with this guy?" And he says, Okuyasu comments how this dude has to be sent to living here with how everything happens, you know, with the cooking, the cucumbers growing, the fishing and everything. And we see this dude. He's like on one of the beams, one of the beams. He's kind of balancing on it while he has a fish in it, while he has a pad, and then he falls off where this nail is, rides the nail to the other side of the tower, and jumps off right before it hits back into the wall. That was pretty cool. That's actually going to come back a little bit later. So they decide to go up a little bit more. The dude sees them, and he's like, "Oh, finally! It's been a while since I've seen some people. Been some time before I've had a little bit of some chit chat." So they come closer and closer and closer. Okuyasu comments like, "Hey, Josuke, I think he knows that we noticed that. I think he's noticed that we've noticed that he's there. You sure we should still get closer? Let's keep going. But we should stay cautious because we don't know if he's an enemy stand user or not." So they make their way over there. We then head over back to 8:05 a.m. Back with Koichi. He's on his way to school. Then some asshole puts his arm right in front of Koichi, a black dude. And he's like, "Excuse me, sir, is there anything I can help you need? I don't mean to be rude, but I need to go." And then when Koichi looks up, the man looks like he has seen a ghost or an enemy stand user or something. Either way, Koichi is freaked the hell out. We then head over to 8:11 a.m. Back with Josuke and Guy. So they're making their way over to the tower. We then see the dude's on the shitter. He's just sitting there, take a shit. He's like, "I wouldn't do that if I were you. I would stay far away." And then this liquid comes out of these little pipes, and they're like, "Oh God, ew, gross!" We can assume that's probably his toilet water, which is probably filled with shit and piss. Now that's disgusting. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I use this as fertilizer for my plants. I'm all about that zero waste life, baby. You hashtag zero waste." Anyway, he's like, "Ugh, gross. It's disgusting." So they he's like, "Sorry," and then he goes on about how he has a bunch of plants that are working, that are completely edible. He has his trap set up for rabbits. He has a whole 9 yards set up. He is ready to go to this place. And then we see this Polaroid, this photo, drop out, which I immediately noticed that was actually Kira's dad. And I was like, "Oh shit, what's going to happen?" When they get there, he's like, "Oh, don't look at that photo! Just get down already, you two! I'll take care of it later." And he's like, "What the hell? It's just looking horrible." It has them all freaked out. They use binoculars, and it's Kira's dad. Josuke, obviously gets fucking pissed off, runs towards the dude runs inside the tower, and he's like, "Dad, it's Kira's dad! We'll tell him no." And then Okuya's like, "Come back, go Josuke." You guys like, "No, we have him right here, we need to finish him off now." He's like, "Congrats, nice job there. You have Josuke, he got it off all hook, line, and sinker. Now I take my leave. See ya." And so he runs off. Josuke goes to follow him. After he enters the tower, the dude says, "Well, you have now walked into my abode." And so once he gets out of there, just half of Josuke's face turns into metal. It had a very Terminator aesthetic. One of his kneecaps was turned because of his stand, Superfly Jimmy Snooker. Okay, so the stand's called Superfly, and whoever walks into this stand, the secret ability of this stand is, whenever somebody enters a place, whenever anyone enters a tower, they're pretty much stuck there and can't leave. If they do, they pretty much become part of the tower. In other words, they turn to metal. So they have to wait for some other schmuck to come in here and take his place, so that way he can leave. So that's how this tower works. So anyway, after that, so Josuke's like, Josuke's now pretty much it looks like a turbulent point, which like I said, the design looked real cool. Then we head over to 10:15 a.m. Thursday. We are with our boy Rohan Kishibe, and he's looking around trying to figure out what the hell's going on. He's looking through his photos, and one of them, in the most recent ones he finds, of course, Hayato, hiding behind a pillar, looking around, trying to find out what the hell is this guy? Why is he here? Why is he, why is he hiding by this pillar? It's almost like he's doing the same thing he is. So Rohan takes a deeper look at it, looks at the dude's name tag, and sees that it's Hayato. So he's gonna probably investigate, find the kid, and see what he's up to. I'm surprised he didn't immediately pick up on Kira, because the dude's wearing the same ties he usually wears with the skulls and everything. I don't know why Rohan didn't immediately pick up on that. And he was like, "Oh shit, that's Kira." I found him. I don't know, but maybe he wasn't even really paying attention to that. He was just focusing on height. Excuse me. So after that, we see that there's some asshole sitting outside the window. So that's going to be interesting. What's going to happen then? We then head over. Then we head over to Josuke's mom at 7:33 a.m. She's walking into her house. I don't know if she came back from work or not. She's all dressed up, so I'm assuming she came back from somewhere, but I don't know where the hell she came from this early in the fucking morning. She's over there, she's like, "Josuke, it's time for school. Have you left already?" Nobody's there. She goes in the fridge, and she's like, "Ugh, where?" And he took that one, and Josuke took like a bite out of one of her favorite lemon cruster things, and she's like, "Ugh, that boy really pisses me off sometimes." And then we see there's some asshole in her house too, just chilling on the kitchen, just chilling at the table. We then head over back to Josuke at 8:14 a.m. I don't know what the hell's with all these times. Oh, excuse me. Actually, that's actually when the whole stuff with Rohan, or not Rohan, with Kira's dad actually happened. Excuse me, I'm getting my events little mixed up. So after that, we head back. We're still with Josuke and the others. The dude's now on the power line. He's like, "Well, now see, guys, I'm out of here. I've been stuck here for the time I stay, so deuces." So he's about to leave. Josuke. Oh, actually, one other thing before he's on the power lines. Okuyasu comes up with this grand idea after Mikitaka's like, "Is there anything I could be of assistance?" He's like, "No, unless you could become dynamite. I cannot become anything more powerful than me, so explosives and heavy machinery are out of the question. Just sit there, you'll be usually." He's like, and then Okuyasu brings out a stand, the hand. He's like, "Yeah, nobody can keep my friend in here and get away with it." He's like, "You ready to take this down, Josuke?" He's like, "Yeah, man, let's get it." And so then they both punch the shit out one of the beams, it crumbles and crumbles, comes thinner and thinner, gets clumped together more and more and more. The thing's about to topple over, but he's like, "Have you two lost your mind? When did you two become so strong?" But then he's like, "You fools! Did you really think it was that simple?" Well, yes, Superfly is my stand. It is pretty much does whatever the hell it feels like. And also, it redistributes whatever you hit it, and brings it back right to you. And then you hear the tower starts vibrating. Tower's vibrating a lot. Or starts vibrating a lot, I should say. And we hear all these vibrations, and he says it's reverberating back to where it was. So, by that I mean, when Josuke and Okuyasu were attacking the beam, the same amount of force and same amount of force they use and everything comes hurling right back towards them. We see like these silhouettes of Shining Diamond in the hand punching both Josuke and Okuyasu. Josuke manages to dodge them, but he almost flying outside the tower. Manages to grab this little root or whatever and pulls himself back up before he completely returns the machine. Okuyasu, on the other hand, did manage to dodge most of the attacks, but not all of them, and one of them did manage to cut. Apparently he said, "Josuke, I could dodge it, and it created a massive hole in my chest." And also, when you see him create a hole in him, but we don't really see much of a hole. I mean, I'm sure it left a decent and deep enough cut, but it didn't really leave that much damage. In all honesty, we didn't actually see the damage. He didn't leave his hand out. We just see blood gushing or anything. We didn't see it. Okuyasu just keeps his hand over the wound, and he's like, "Okuyasu, don't worry, I'll get you out of there, so that he can heal him." And he's like, "Oh, man, it's not that hard. It's not rocket science. Just get some schmuck to come in there and take your place. It's not rocket science, And that's when Mikitaka shows up. He's like, "I agree, and you are the perfect candidate." And we see Mikitaka on top of the power lines, and he is the power line that this dude, I forget his name. He looks like a leprechaun. Honestly, he looks like a typical cliche Irish leprechaun if he was a normal height, And he's holding the beam, and he's like, "What the?" So you will now be going back. So then he cuts off the line where he is, he just kind of let goes of the line that he's holding on as they swing over right back to where the to back to the tower. Inside the tower, Josuke manages to get out of there, and now he is stuck there. And he's like, "Well, now, I do not like the way I do not like the way you tricked Josuke and left him stranded here for life. You do not deserve to escape, so you will be here for the rest of your days." And then he like cuts, and then dude like says like, "Oh, I've grown this so thick that I can hide shit. I don't even know what the hell's like the thing. I don't even know. I think it's for like his bones. Like he was like referring to like bones or muscles or something. I don't know. They were huge. They looked weird, and I was like, what the hell is that? Whatever. But whatever the case may be, he manages to take out there was a knife hiding in there. He cuts the power line. He's like, "Oh, you must think that this is where a power line is, pardon me. But no, this power line is actually the power line. Bye." So then he kind of like disconnects from the power line. He is said falling to his death, essentially. But then he manages to grab one of the beams or one like little pillars or whatever, grabs onto them, and he is safe from, of course, falling to his death. And as we know, the attacks, so when they attack you, they come right back at you. Comes right out there. A hole is in Nikitaka's shoulder, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was his shoulder. So then the dude, and then Joe's like, "Nikitaka, you need to get down from there so I can heal you." And so, but by this time, the dude already has his already put his plan. The moment he grabs like these 3 screws, throws them over to like another pillar on the lower level, jumps down to where there's like a direct angle and direction. Check. They all send flying over to Nikitaka, and they all hit them in a vertical row. All hit him in his arm. There's one in his hand, one around his wrist, and one just straight up in his arm. So he's just sitting there, hanging, just hanging by these nails. And he's like, "Well, now you can take. Well, not sure you can heal just fine, but you can take all the time you can heal. You can take some of those medicinal herbs from the god." And he's about to take his leave, and he talks about how that you can't stop me, you still haven't been able to find Yoshikage Kira. And then, from here is when the episode really gets interesting. We then head over back to Rohan at 10:42 a.m. Rohan checks the door, and it's that asshole we saw earlier on, and he's just kind of sitting there in the front door. If I had to guess, these were probably stand users that Kira's dad found. Used the arrow, these are the stand users. He gave them orders to go to these 3 people's homes and probably kidnap them. So then we head over to 8:14 a.m. We're back at Josuke's house. His mom is gone. There's no sign of her. Okay. After that, same time, we head over to where Koichi is. All we see is his back. He's nowhere to be found. And then, from there, we head over to 10:38 a.m. We're seeing Kiri's at work, and we see his nails grow longer again. So, yikes. We then head over to where we end the episode off with Hayato. He's looking off into the window like your typical high school anime protagonist. He's like, "I will find out who this man is," and that is where the episode ends. So overall, this episode, I love this week's episode. It was great, phenomenal. Even stuff with Josuke was great. I'm really curious with now. Like I said at the beginning of this review, I think that there's going to be some. That there's shit's gonna hit the fan, whether it means that there's gonna be a dilemma where all 3 of these guys are like tied up and kidnapped, and Josuke and the crew have to make some escape to get them out of there. They gotta make some dilemma, or they find out who Kira is, or Hayato tells them. Whatever the case may be, something is going to happen next week, and I'm really excited to see what that is. So anyway, guys, I give this week's episode a 9 out of 10, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time. She's